Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ online video tutorials. In the previous video, we have solved a numerical problem based on equations of uniformly accelerated motion. And what are those equations? They are V equals U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, and V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. You all know that V is final velocity, U stands for initial velocity, S is distance or displacement. Let me write here displacement. A stands for acceleration. Right? Now we'll go ahead quickly with another problem and try to solve few more in this video tutorials. The problem is a scooter acquires a velocity of 36 km per hour in 10 seconds just after the start. Calculate the acceleration of the scooter. Now here I would like to tell you few important points before you solve a problem on motion. We should remember that if a body starts from rest, right? If suppose a scooter starts from rest, initially it is at rest and then it starts. That means what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity will be 0, right? So remember, if a body starts from rest, then immediately you should write down in the given content that U is equal to 0. U stands for initial velocity. Second is, if a body comes to rest, suppose a vehicle is moving and then he applies a brake and over a period of time it comes to rest. In that case, what is the final velocity? Final velocity will be 0 because after applying the brake, it stops. The third very important point is, suppose if a statement contains a body moving with uniform velocity. And what does a uniform velocity means? Constant velocity. That means, suppose in 1 second, if its velocity is 30 km per hour, let me write km per hour here, and then in the next second also it remains same, and it remains same for few more time, and then we call it as uniform velocity, constant velocity. That means there is no change in the velocity, and when there is no change in the velocity, the acceleration will be 0. Zero acceleration, because we all know that acceleration is due to change in velocity. Velocity may decrease or increase, right? Now we shall start solving this problem, right? Now we shall start solving this problem. A scooter acquires a velocity of 36 km per hour in 10 seconds. So what we have to do? First and foremost thing, we have to write what are the things which are given. As I have already told you, your entire solution should be divided into a given, what is to find, which formula you are using, and then calculation. There will be separate marking for all these things. So suddenly don't jump into the calculation and solve. So now as far as given is concerned, say scooter acquires a velocity 36 km per hour in 10 seconds just after start. As I already told you, before a scooter gets this velocity, it was at rest. Okay, it was at rest. Please visualize the problem. Therefore, what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity will be 0 because it starts from rest. Then it acquires a velocity of 36 km per hour. So what is this 36 km per hour? It's a final velocity in this situation, small v. Small v stands for final velocity, small u stands for initial velocity, and it is 36 km per hour. But wait, time is given in second. So it is always better to go and have all the units in standard international system, SI system. Okay. And what is the standard unit of velocity? Meter per second. So what we need to do, we have to convert this into meter per second. Please refer previous problem. There also we had done the same thing. So how will you convert this? 36 kilometer we have to convert it into meters, and then hour into second. So in short, we can multiply by 5 by 18, right? Otherwise you have to multiply this by 1000 and then 60 into 60 into, okay, 60 minutes into 60 seconds. Convert everything into seconds. Now it is better to have straightway multiply this. It's a shortcut. 18 ones are 18 twos are. So this becomes 10 meter per second. So we have converted this from kilometer per hour into, and then what is the given? Time is given. And what is time? Time is 10 seconds and it is in SI unit, right? What to find then? Calculate the acceleration of the scooter. So A is equal to question mark. Now which formula we have to use? We have got three equations of motion. V is equal to u plus at, S equals ut plus half at square, and then v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Every time you need not write this. With a practice you can pick up, right? So we cannot use these two equations because there is a different physical quantity which is given here. That's a displacement which is not there in our problem. So the best one is V is equal to u plus at, because A is to be found here. This is A, where T is given, U is given and V is given. So let me write formula. V is equal to u plus at. Now I'll do the calculation here. So since V is equal to u plus at, right? Now V is, substitute this, 10 meter per second. 10 is equal to, right, u is 0 because it starts from rest, into A. As it is, we have to write A only, and T is 10 second. So 10 is equal to 10A, or we can write even 10A is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. So this, since it is multiplication, it becomes a division here. 10 by 10, which is equal to 10 ones are. So finally 1. But wait, don't stop here. You have to write a SI unit of acceleration, that is meter per second square, and therefore you have to write here answer. And what is the answer you have to write? Acceleration of the scooter is, acceleration of the scooter at the end of 10 seconds is 1 meter per second square, right? This should be your answer to get the full mark. We'll go for the next problem. A moving train is brought to rest. Please read this once again. A moving train is brought to rest within 20 seconds of time. Now when you are reading, you please recall what are the things which are given, what all the information which are given in this situation, and what is asked. Find the initial velocity if the retardation due to brakes is 2 meter per second square, right? So understand it very carefully. A train is already moving, right? A train is already moving which is brought to rest. So let us write what is, or what are the informations which are given. Okay, a train is brought to rest means finally a brake is applied and it is going to be halted. That means what is its final velocity? Final velocity is that velocity which is at the end. And what is going to happen here at the end? It comes to rest. So final velocity is 0. And then within 20 seconds, time is given 20 seconds, right? So time is given, final velocity is given, and the acceleration is given here. Now here you have to be very careful. Now acceleration, you don't write simply 2 meter per second square. That becomes wrong, right? When the brakes are applied, when the brakes are applied, what happens to the velocity? Velocity changes, right? But what kind of change? Change is velocity decreases or reduces. Please remember, if velocity increases, then the acceleration is positive. Now, if a vehicle starts from rest, then its velocity increase. Then it is positive. And if velocity reduces, in what case velocity reduces? If the brakes are applied, velocity reduces. And if the velocity reduces, then the acceleration is called retardation, and that is what is negative acceleration. Now here, look at this situation. A moving train, already moving train is brought to rest. Means final velocity, finally it is coming to rest. Final velocity is rest. And how much of time? 20-second time. And acceleration is, will it be positive or negative? Definitely it has to be negative, because when the brakes are applied, its velocity will reduce slowly and then comes to rest, right? So here, this is very important step here. This is what you should not make any mistake. So A is equal to minus 2 meter per second square. In all such situations, please read whether a velocity reduces or increases. If it increases, then the acceleration is positive. If the velocity reduces in this case, then the acceleration is negative. Now what is to find? To find what? To find initial velocity. Find initial velocity. And what is the letter used for initial velocity? U. Okay. Now again distance is not given here, so we need not bother about the rest of the two equations. So we have to be left with one equation. And what is that equation? Formula, that is V equals U plus AT, right? So after that you have to do calculation. Now let me do the calculation here. So since V is equal to U plus AT, so this is what is given here, 0. V is 0 because it is brought to rest. Final velocity is 0. U we have to find, not given, plus acceleration. Acceleration, don't write 2 meter per second, it is minus 2, into time is 20 seconds, right? So 0 is equal to U plus into minus here, okay, it becomes minus 40, right? U plus into minus is minus, 20 into 2 is 40. Now I'll write U minus 40 is equal to 0 this way. Therefore U is equal to, you have to take this on this side. So if it is minus here, it becomes plus. So U equals 40, and 40 what? Meter per second. That means a moving train was having its velocity 40 meter per second, and then it is brought to rest, and then its velocity becomes 0, and the acceleration slowly reduces at the rate of 2 meter per second for every second, which is minus 2 meter per second square in time 20 seconds. Simple problem, but we tend to make a mistake in considering this acceleration as minus. If you don't consider it as minus, then the entire situation changes and you get the wrong answer. So finally it is left to you to write the answer in sentence, write properly. Okay, thank you.